Welcome to the GIMP Basics tutorial. In this session, we are going to learn about superimposing or placing an image over another image. We will create this final image where we superimpose this student photo over this school photo. And then we are going to add text in the upper left corner. To do that, we are going to learn about layers, scaling and moving the image, selecting the part of the image and then changing its color, and then adding text. Before we begin, make sure you have saved the photos from the Ask and Learn GIMP lesson module to a folder named Images on your desktop. I have included the final image for your reference. Carefully follow the step-by-step instructions to produce the correct results. Now let's begin by opening the GIMP program. Double-click the shortcut on the desktop. Open the Images folder. You may pause this video anytime by pressing space bar, and then press and hold Alt and then press Tab to easily switch to GIMP to do the instructions. Next, click and drag the school photo to the main window. Notice that the Layers dock is overlapping the image window. To fix that, zoom out by 33% and then resize the image window. Next, switch to the Images folder. Drag the student photos to the image window. So now we have two layers, the students and the school as the background. The student photo is too big, so we will resize it using the Scale tool. Click the Scale tool and then click and drag on the photo to resize. But for a more precise measurement, we can type the values. Click the lock button so that the height and width ratio will remain constant. Now type 1000 for the width, and then the height is automatically given because of the lock button. Then click Scale. Now we will use the Move tool to put the student photo in place. Click the student photo and then drag it down. Now we will use some basic selection tools to remove the unwanted portion of the photos. Click the Rectangle Select tool, press and hold as you make a selection, and then release. The border that looks like marching ants indicate that you have made the selection. To remove that portion, go to Edit and then Clear, or you may press Delete in your keyboard. Now the marching ants are still there, which means the area is still selected. To remove the selection, go to Select and then None, or press Ctrl-Shift-A in your keyboard. There, it's gone. We can also use the Ellipse Select tool to clear out the top of the student photo. Just click and drag to make a selection, and then press Delete to clear. And then press Ctrl-Shift-A to remove the selection. Next, we will use the Free Select tool to trace the outline of the students. Zoom in by 100% and adjust the image window for a better close-up. Make a selection by clicking on the edges of the students. You can temporarily close the selection by clicking on the starting point. Click the Add mode to add more students to your selection. Double-click on a selected area to close the selection. Remember, you can go back a few steps in the Undo history. Click on an action and then continue with your selection. Zoom out by 33% to see the whole selection. Now what we have selected are the students. We want to select these unwanted portions, so we will invert the selection by clicking Select and then Invert, and then press Delete on your keyboard to clear out the background. And then click Select None to clear the marching ants. Now we only need to create a hole in this part. So we zoom in and then select. And then press delete to clear. And then Ctrl+Shift+A to clear the selection. Next, we will try to smooth the rough edges by doing a right click on the student layer and then choose Alpha 2 selection. This will select the students, and then we will select the border or the outline of the students by going to Select and then Border. Type 2 pixels and then click OK. As you can see, it selected the border of the students. And then we will blur the edges to smoothen it by going to Filters, Blur, and then Blur. Press Ctrl+Shift+A to remove the selection. And there you have it. Somehow we have smoothened the edges. Let's zoom out to view the whole picture. Let's enlarge the students by using the Scale tool. Click and drag to scale. And then press Scale. And then drag them into place by using the Move tool. So now we will play around with the coloring features of GIMP. We will make the color of the school more vibrant. To do that, zoom in by 50% to get a good view of the school. Click the background layer, which is the school, and then go to Colors, select Hue Saturation. To change the color of the school, adjust the hue value here. We can also adjust the lightness or the darkness. We can also change the saturation or the gray value. Click Reset Color to revert back to its original value. To give the school a fresh yellow paint, put 17 in the hue value. Click OK. Another way is to use Colorize, which will give the image a uniform color. Click Cancel to revert back. We can also change the color of a part of an image. We will try to change the color of this paper she's holding. So we click the student layer to edit the paper. Zoom into the paper. And then we will use the Free Select tool to select the paper. Go to Color, Hue Saturation. Then we change the color to red. Click OK. Press Ctrl+Shift+A to remove the selection. And then zoom out by 33%. Finally, we can add text to the image by clicking the Text tool. And then click on the image where you want to put the text. Type the text here in the text editor. And then click Close. Change the font to Times New Roman Bold Italic. Font size is 70. Let's zoom in by 50%. Change the color to a dark blue. Click on the blue color here. And then choose the dark blue here. And click OK. Click the Move tool to adjust its location. And then we will add a shadow effect by going to Filters, Lighten Shadow, Drop Shadow. Use the default values and then press OK. And we are done. To save the file, go to File, Save As, select File Type, select GIMP XCF file to be able to edit this file along with these layers. You can also save in JPEG format. Thank you for watching. I hope you learned something new in this session. Feel free to explore GIMP.